Hey everybody, this is Kenny with Kenco Power and Soft Washing here on a 60-degree drizzly day. It rained all night last night, over an inch here in Missouri, and I've got about a 4,000 square foot house to wash, and this is perfect. You can really make up a lot of time here, soaping 2 or 3 sides and not worrying about it, flashing off and drying. Perfect weather for washing houses. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I've done different this year. I'm starting my 6th year. Well, I started it last week. I think I've done 7 jobs. Anyway, I started it last week. But so I upgraded my injector, all my injector lines to 3/8 as opposed to using 1/4 inch. And this is due mainly because of Levi Fajardo on his Facebook group. He posted that he's getting a lot better flow out of 3/8. I mean, it just makes sense than the 1/4 inch. And I can attest to that because when I took my 1/4 inch off my injector and blew through it, there's probably 10 feet of hose. There was quite a bit of resistance in it. And then when I put the actually a little bit longer 3/8 hose on and blew through it, there's virtually no resistance through it. So all that's got to help. So I also wanted a way to change out my injectors fast, and I know other people have put on like a metal stainless steel 1/4 inch quick connect here, but I wanted to do something that's lighter, so I bought these, and so I can change the injector out real quick like that. And so now with all this, I just wanted to reduce the weight here. You can put whatever quick connect you want on here, but when it goes together nice, it just clicks in. And I also color coded my injectors. So this is a 1.8, this is a 2.1, and I'm thinking about getting a 2.3, and I'll put a green tape on it, so if these are laying around I can easily see which one I want, because these numbers are hard for me to read anymore. And so just a way to differentiate. And last fall, I bought these check valves off of eBay, and get the more expensive ones that has the adapter already on it. I think they're like 85 bucks. But I bought cheap ones to begin with, and I couldn't even overcome the spring by blowing in it. And these, it's a lot less tension on that check valve spring, and you can just easily blow through it. So there is a difference in check valves. The other thing I was doing last year was I was taking my hose off my injector, putting another hose on it, and putting it in water to rinse my injector. And it was just, I don't know, just getting to be a pain in the butt. And so I decided I'd go ahead and put a 3-way valve on here. So that weighs SH, this weighs water, connected right here to my header, and straight up is off. And so check valves come in 2 different configurations. You have a T style, and then you have an L style. And what you want is an L style, because if you drop here in the center, it'll turn off. And the reason you want it to turn off is if I have it on water and I go like this, well, my water tank's down. Well, I got to fill that before I go on my job. Water starts running out of here, and like if I'm going to show you here what I got. Where have I got it hiding? Right here. This is a new thing too. So if I want to drop stick into, some Cleansol BC or some acid, if you're careful, I can just drop that in, easily connect on here. And the thing is, I think my SH tank's pretty full. If this is dropped down here, should come out. Well, anyway, what happens is, if my SH tank was higher than this, it would run out here, and same with my water, we're empty. So having a valve that turns off stops all that, especially when you're doing this. So it's just making my life easier. I can't believe just something so simple is so much easier. What else did I do? Oh, I'm kind of embarrassed about this, but the beginning of last year, I go through these batteries one battery a year for some reason. I don't know if it's banging around or what, but so I went to Tractor Supply to get my yearly marine battery for $150, and they had these lawnmower batteries on sale for $27. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that. Anyway, it made it all last season. It went through the winter, and now during the winter I do come out here and fire this up about once, every 2 or 3 weeks to keep that battery charged. But anyway, this thing's going strong. It runs all my hose reels and stuff during the day, and on the days that I'm downstreaming, that motor there has a 3 amp charging circuit. This one has a 20 amp, and I hardly use this, and when I do, it's just for roofs or a hot mix to put on concrete or something, and I only run like about 150 pounds at the most. So this is basically using this as a 12 volt. You just have to turn it pressure all the way down, adjust the pressure all the way down, and it'll run just like a 12 volt. So, and also the other thing is, if that goes down, I can wash a house with this. So anyway, I forget what I was talking about. Oh, that charges at 3 amps. So if I'm in a neighborhood and I'm doing a bunch of houses and I'm using the hose reels, I'll notice them after 3 or 4 hours, they'll get a little slow, and I know that's not keeping up. So all I do is I start this up, immediately the hose reels start working fast, and just let this thing run for about 10 minutes. That battery's charged, everything's good to go. So I just found it funny that I'm running all this crap off of a $27 battery, and it's going into its second year. The other thing I did was, when I first bought my SH tank, the only thing I had available was one with the outlet at the bottom, and I know that's not good, but I put up a board here to keep anything from banging into it. So far that's been fine. I haven't touched that going into my 6th year. Haven't touched it. So what I did was, whenever I needed a hot mix, I would dip into that tank with a cup and pour it into my sprayers, and it was a pain in the butt, and sometimes I needed some hot stuff and I just didn't want to go through that, so I just struggled through my job, maybe did a little extra scrubbing on some lichen that I didn't want to do, just because I didn't want to stick my hand in there anymore. So I cut this T in and come back here, and now I have straight SH right there. I've got my water right here, and so I can do my mixing all right here, and I use this all the time now, so it's so much more convenient. So I see. Oh, I know one other thing that people ask me about on my videos is, let me go around this way. I may cut some of this crap out. Nobody needs to watch me walk around. Hudson valve. It's starting to rain now. That's okay. So we go over here. So I have 2 levels in my tank. That is half full. This was all the way full with that Hudson valve. Now, we all know the Hudson valves are restrictive, and I've got a video showing you how I made it a little less restrictive, but it's still restrictive. So you see, this used to be right here, right there, and there's my halfway valve. my bulkheads, I just screw it right there. Well, there was times when I'm running my surface cleaner that it's just not keeping up, and it still won't keep up even with no restriction. So I took this off, and the tank fills much faster, and it was so much better. You know, I only call for that kind of flow maybe once a week, 4 or 5 times a month, whatever. And so I'll just turn it up here. Now there's no way of regulating that, and a couple of times it's, you know, overflowed, but only a couple of times. But it fills so much faster that I'm not putting that on ever again. And this is just going to be my spare. So what else have I done? Well, I think that's about it. Oh, one other thing. Yeah, got another thing. Hang in here with me. This is how I buy my gear grease. I always have. And a lot of people try to get a funnel in here, you know. So this is the way you buy your grease. You just, you know, tilt that down, squeeze your bag, and everybody likes their bag squeezed. Not too hard though, but anyway, so much easier to do, especially, you know, you're working on a differential or a gearbox under your truck. You don't have to get AMSOIL. That's just what I use, but most all gear greases will come in a bag. Just buy it in a bag. Well, here's something that's not pressure washing related, but this is a fan clutch for the motor. And a lot of times I'm really hot and I let my truck idle, especially like the last 30 minutes of a job. I want to get in it and get it, you know, cold, and it started overheating. And so what I did was I just changed out this standard duty fan clutch with called a severe duty, so it will whirl up the fan a lot quicker and faster before it gets hot. And so it hasn't been hot enough for me to really test it, but you can really hear it. It sounds like a plane going off. I know it's going to give me less fuel mileage, but you know, I'm just going to see how that works. What else have I done? I guess that's about it. My smart bypass is still working. I believe this is the 4th year going on that one. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. If you got any questions, let me know and I'll try to answer them.